Welcome to the Mikey Likes You podcast, the greatest health and fitness podcast on the planet. That's all there is to it. I've gone over this before. You may disagree. You may be like, whoa, you're not even that well known. It's not even like a big deal, your show. I get it, it's true. But no one ever told Michael Jackson he was the king of pop. No one ever said to Howard Stern, you're the king of all media. They said that. One day, Michael Jackson's like, I'm the king of pop. And people, oh yeah, totally. He sold a lot of records. He sold an insane amount of records. He didn't sell the most. Barbra Streisand is probably the queen of pop. Like, Bing Crosby, I think, sold more records. That's probably not true. But many people, other people in pop music have sold more than Michael Jackson. He's amazing. I'm a fan. But my point being...
You want me to edit that out?
What?
You're a fan of Michael Jackson?
No. I'm genuinely a fan. In fact, I'm an apologist. If Michael Jackson, in fact, committed acts of lustful crime against children, he deserves to rot in hell. But the guy did get there's no real proof that he did, except for a couple of really shady kids who were clearly motivated by the parents. All other children that have ever spent considerable time with Michael Jackson have been like, yeah, he never did anything to me.
Aaron Carter did say he didn't get touched.
And Aaron Carter's wild. Aaron Carter would not give a f*** to say that if he did. Aaron Carter would be like, listen, there was one time he did this, this, and this. Because Aaron Carter has made it very clear he's got pretty thick skin when it comes to dealing with the public, you know?
He did tell me one time he woke up with Michael standing over him in his underwear.
Fucking creepy. If you were my son, like, yeah, we would have some words. But my point being is, like, there's been plenty of people. He's not R. Kelly. My point, where it's like, this is irrefutable. You're a pervert creep.
Well, yeah, that's because R. Kelly can't dance.
But man, R. Kelly, more than any other horrible artist, like as far as like horrible, they're outside of their artwork. Like, there's some songs that come on and I go, I can't deny this. Like, you listen in secret. You know, if people were in your car, you'd be like, oh, let me turn this. But as soon as I'm by myself, I hear, I believe I can fly. I'm like, this shit jam.
I saw Space Jam.
This shit bangs. And I couldn't believe it because I thought streaming services erased themselves of R. Kelly. But the other day, I was listening to some streaming service, and it just came in with, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I was like, oh, I turned it up. I was in the gym. I was going to the barbells. I was so turned on. I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Anyway, let me get back to where I was going. Michael Jackson claimed he was the king of pop, and then people all agreed. Howard Stern claimed he was the king of all media. And of course, there's evidence to back that up. Dominant radio personality, dominant television personality, dominant author. He had a very successful, very good movie when he decided to take the foray into, you can see I'm a professional broadcaster hitting the mic, taking the foray into motion pictures. Howard Stern backed it up. But at the beginning, Howard Stern claimed he was the king of all media, and people were like, okay, well, oh boy. And I'm telling you right now, this is the greatest health and fitness podcast in the world, and eventually people will all agree with me. Right now, you're probably like, rolling your eyes, shut up. You douchebag. I'm fine with that, because the time will come. Your day of reckoning is upon you. You understand? The health and fitness scene online is Gotham. I'm Bane. The digital space is reckoning. Fuck you. I'm gonna fuck your ass, Marianne Cotillard. Not literally. Okay, we might need to edit that, because that'll be brought up in court someday. Like, poor Marianne. I did not know who this man was, and he's claiming he's going to sodomize me. Huge areolas, Marianne Cotillard.
You a fan of that?
Areolas?
Big or small?
The smaller the better. Areolas. Same with nipples.
Correct answer.
Nipple, like big nipple, like Full Metal Jacket.
Like Logan Paul?
Logan Paul has big nips?
I think so. Or does he have super small nips? One of the two. But I'm talking huge pepperoni slices.
No, that's got to go. That's surgery. I mean, you do what you do. If you have that, if I had big sewer hole cap nipples, I would go to the doctor immediately and have that taken care of. You know, Mario Lopez got a nice set of nips. Like his areolas and his nips are
perfect man.
He's
really
beautiful.
Jealous.
He's a beautiful man.
Great jiu-jitsu practitioner too.
He's good, and he's a really good boxer. He's a really good boxer.
Him versus Tom Hardy. I'd like to see that little celebrity match.
Mario Lopez would fucking destroy Tom Hardy.
Really?
He'd beat the shit out of him.
All right.
Let me give you. I think Tom Hardy's probably the best young like the actor of our generation. He's probably the great. You know, Gosling's amazing. I think he's very talented. I think Leo is a generation above. He's older than me. I would put him more in like the Pitt Clooney. He still looks younger than him because he has like that cherubic thing. But Leo's in it as far as like this generation. Adam Driver's certainly on the come up. But as far as like overall,
the guy
banger,
who stands there,
Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Marriage Story?
No.
Adam Driver's a really good actor. And also he was in Girls, like his turn in Girls. He's
a tall guy who stood there.
He did. There's not much else. He's huge. By the way,
it's what every girl wants.
By the way, United States Marine, Adam Driver.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he served in, I believe, Iraq.
Damn, I now respect Adam Driver.
Yeah, no, Adam Driver kicks ass. A guy that stands there, he was fucking Kylo Ren. Didn't you ever see those horrible Star Wars movies?
The most standing there he's ever stood. He did nothing in those movies. Those movies were awful.
They were bad. I was having this internal debate about which Star Wars, like which set of Star Wars was better, the prequels or the like post Disney ones.
The prequels. The prequels are pretty fucking cool. Pod racers.
They were sweet. I think we all made fun of those movies in the 90s.
It was
late
cool
90s,
to shit on them. It was the first of being cool to hate something.
Because it was the only thing you had to compare it to was the first three. And those are so good. Like so crazy good. The first, I guess it'd be episode 4, 5, and 6, right? Technically. But the first three movies that came out chronologically in our world. They're so good that you have to remind people because the buzz on them is almost Beatles-like. That's the only thing I can compare it to. Where people like, you grew up, you may have never heard the Beatles, but the way people talk about the Beatles, you're like, there's no way they're that good. You go listen to the Beatles, you're like, oh shit, they're that good. The Beatles are that good. And the first three Star Wars movies are that good. Clean, hero's journey, good versus evil. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Well told. Let me get back to where I'm going. Giorgio knows exactly the topics to get me out. There's very little I care about in the world. And chicks getting really upset over movies like it's real life. Like insignificant pop culture stuff. That's all you do is you'd be like, yeah, you ever think like if Tom and Jerry got in a fight, I'm gone. You could say Israel, Palestine. What are your thoughts? I'd be like, I don't know, man. Frankly, it's inappropriate for me to even kind of make a comment. It seems like civilians getting killed is bad, no matter what. That's automatic. And I know Israel's clearly a very important ally, but I've never been to either place. And I don't have a very deep, thorough understanding of warfare or the political and religious undertones of what's going on in that part. So you know what? Frankly, I think it's inappropriate for me. But you want to say Darth Vader versus Tony Montana in a fight. Who wins? I'm gone. All day, I'll talk.
Yeah, it's a more dangerous topic. Similar like the one we're about to get on.
Yes.
Very dangerous.
I am really signing.
Getting trapped.
Thank you for that transition. I'm really throwing myself out here. Because I'm about to talk shit about girls.
All girls. Like, this is a large community of girls.
No, not all girls, because I do know, know for a fact, for instance, former guest, very beautiful, very smart, very thoughtful girl, Lauren Masetich, who's been on this show. She's on my side because we've talked about this in real life, in person. We would say, there'll be some crazy hoe in the gym, just soaking up all the attention she possibly can, and then getting mad at guys for looking in her general direction. Fuck off. And this, by the way, you know what? I don't think this is not a female. I'm not leaning towards just females. Let me start by saying all people filming in a gym, men, women, non-binary, I don't give a shit. Humans filming in the gym. All other people are doing you a favor by allowing you to film in their gym that you share with them by paying fucking dues. It's a building that you all collectively pay to use. It is not your film studio. I literally can't escape all you assholes on Instagram and YouTube putting up videos of you filming yourself. You've set up your tripod and you're filming yourself doing an exercise, and people walk in between the camera view, and then you act like you're Christian Bale on the set of Terminator, whatever the Terminator. Oh, you just walk in front of my shot, la-di-da-di-da. Good for you. Off. It's not your studio, shitbag. It's a gym. People put up with that shitty font. Can you believe this guy? Because it's like a picture of calves and feet walking through your shot. And you're like, can you believe this guy? Ding! With the little, can you believe this hoe? Ding! She's standing in front of my shot. It's not your shot. Let me see your filming permit, Kubrick. You. Misfit bitch 9000 or whatever, at Bobby Swole 96. Eat shit. It is not, if you are in a private studio that you own or you have paid to take control, and someone off the street walks in the middle of your shot, believe you me, I'd be like, wow, that's unbelievable. What an inconsiderate person. But you, Tits McGee and Boy 24, you are the inconsiderate person by putting this person on blast like they did something wrong by standing in a public place that you decided was your personal studio. Fuck you. Suck my Get a video camera and a tripod and film yourself sucking my dick. That's what I think of you, dumb fucking asshole fuckboys and stupid fit pog bitches.
Be careful what you wish for.
I mean, either of those two demographics, I'd be happy to let suck my penis.
Are the dudes almost worse sometimes? Like the pants are like right above the cock. Like I'm talking, it's the low as they can go. Or the gray sweatpants with clearly no underwear on. And God forbid a shirt.
They may be worse. Maybe on the grand scheme of things, but I'm biased. Because if I had a gigantic hog, I would wear those pants. Like, I don't like that guy for doing that, but I can't, like, if I'm being honest, like the game put up pictures of himself just like in his underwear, and people were like, "Oh my God, look at his gigantic dick." And I go, "Well, good for him."
The game, I'm nothing about the game here, but there's nothing worse, or not worse. There's nothing more that encompasses that than a jacked gay black man.
Oh no. You
a jacked gay black man in a mirror pic?
Let me tell you something. My DMs are wild. My DMs are wild. And it's 5% chicks. And it's 95% dudes. And you, Giorgio, are so right. Because Latin dudes, Hispanic dudes, Send me some wild shit. But there's nothing that compares to some black dudes. And by the way, they have the equipment to back it up. Because I am very straight. And I'm not insecure. I like gay shit. I go to gay bars. I've gone to a gay strip club. I'm not at all insecure. But I'm a straight man. I like the ladies. And I have to go like, whoa, like, bravo.
Yeah, this all comes from jealousy. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could take that picture.
It's not jealousy as much as it is envy.
Yeah, that's a better word. Yeah,
I don't go like, I'm mad at you. I go like, yeah. It's the same like when I look at like certain male physique athletes and they walk around. Like, I don't look at Christian Bumstead and go like, I'm mad because you look like that. I go, if I look like that, I'd never wear a shirt. If there never be a time, I may never wear clothes.
Did this become a Liver King apologist podcast?
I got a lot of heat, actually. I got a lot of people who were like, bravo for speaking up for Liver King. But I got a lot of heat, too, where people are like, he manipulated people for money. And I go, yeah, but so does all corporations. Like, that's all people who sell things. They manipulate you into, like really, like there's this much people that are pure and righteous when they sell you things, like Jocko's company. They're pure. They make everything in the United States.
I love all his companies. His ghee company, his boot company, Jocko Fuel. Shout out that. It's a great energy drink, all keto.
And no one's ever lied to them. Like, no one's ever been like, if you take these protein shakes, you're going to be jacked. They're like, this is a supplement. If it helps you get through your day. Like, Jocko's a perfect example. First Attachment, the perfect example. They're like, this stuff's extra expensive compared to most of the stuff you'll find at GNC. This is better. This is better high quality ingredients. And it's hard to market because you're paying for what you get for. And most supplements aren't going to be useful anyway, but we sell stuff that can really help, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a very select few jacked nerds.
Yes.
And you happen to have found them. And
found jacked nerds. And you know, there's a really, like, even stuff I love, like the Dodgers. The Dodgers are mostly pure, but there's also, like, if you just take time to investigate, everyone hides things that they don't want the public to see in order for their business to be better, or they flat out lie, right? So I was apologizing to the Liver King in a sense that he's still just a human being. And the same thing, I used to say the same thing back in like 2005 to 2008 when the like celebutante culture was first getting started. Because I was on radio every morning and every night, and people would be like, dude, did you see Spencer Pratt or Mike the Situation Dude? I go, dude, they're just dudes. They're just people. They're not Adolf Hitler. They're not Pol Pot. Like, they're just guys that you think kind of are acting douchey. Leave it alone.
Mike the Situation walks so all these dudes could run. Let's be honest. Let's give props to Mike.
He's a champ. He's a champion. I was more of a Pauly D guy.
He was the cooler one, for sure.
In person, Ronnie's the coolest one.
Yeah.
He was the nicest. I don't know about the coolest. He was the nicest. No. By far, of all the Jersey Shore people, I don't know what they're up to now. I don't know who Snooki is a genuinely nice person. Like, she's like really lovely to be around. And JWoww's, I'm assuming ex-boyfriend. There's no way they actually got married.
No.
But she had a boyfriend at the time when the Jersey Shore was really big. A giant mountain man, like huge dude, huge jacked guy. And she used to come on the radio show with her boy. He was so cool. He was so nice, like a real gentleman, real nice guy, funny, self-deprecating. JWoww was all, frankly, I don't have a bad thing to say about any of them. Here's my thing. All the people that people make fun of. Chads, buff, fucking asshole, meatheads, Guidos, like boneheaded, like remember the guy, pitted. Remember that surf punk that blew up the internet? Barrel next you pit. I love that. I would rather hang out with all the aforementioned people, flat brim, high desert moto guys drinking their Monster Energy, and their metal militia. I'd rather hang out with that guy. I'd rather hang out with all Guidos on the Northeast coast. I'd rather hang out with all redneck, like real cowboy dudes. I'd rather hang out with fill in the blank, all those cultures that people typically like to make fun. I'd rather hang out with all of them instead of a hipster. Any like indie music, hipster, coffee house people, fuck you all compared to Guidos, compared to bros, compared to cholos, compared to any of the like normal uber macho cultural things that we like to all make fun of because of their affliction shirt or their pants pulled down too low. All of that. I love making fun of it. It's fun. All those cultures I like better than any of you anti-culture people. Name comics that people typically like to make fun of. Larry the Cable Guy, Sinbad, right? I'd rather watch an endless loop of them. Just show after Jeff Foxworthy. I'd rather watch an endless loop than any alt comedy person. Bless you. Any alt comedy, any of your Nanette, any of your anti-comedy alt comedy, eat shit. But let me get back to this the message at hand. So if you are filming in a public gym, everyone else does not need to make sure your lighting and your shot is okay. It's an absolute, like, you're really pushing it by filming alone. Before the advent of like smartphones, just for a moment, imagine walking into any public place in 2005 with a video camera and just being like, hey, buddy, I'm going to walk into Gold Gym with my camera. People will be like, sir, do you have a permit for that? No, I'm just filming. It's free country. I understand, but this is a business and there's a lot of people here in kind of compromising outfits a lot of times, maybe even compromising positions, bending over and whatnot. Is it? No, hey, back up. Don't get in my shot. Can you imagine? But now we've all just been trained to be like, well, this is about me. I'm filming my workout. I saw this other guy the other day. He was dead. He was buff. He was strong. And he was like preparing to deadlift, but he had put the tripod in front of the platform to deadlift. It was literally taking up the area, the walkway in front of the platform. So this guy walks behind him. He literally didn't have a choice. And this guy put up on this video, can you believe this guy? I'm getting ready to lift, and he just walks behind me. And I'm like, what's going through your head, shithead? It's not your backyard.
The gym used to be a safe place for dudes just to bang things, scream things, listen to horrible metal music. Not a phone in sight.
No.
What happened?
Well, no, it's one of those things that phones destroy. There's a lot of things that phones have improved. I mean, our smartphones and the internet and everything, it's not all bad. It's amazing. Sometimes I had this conversation with this dude the other day. I don't know this guy. I've never met this guy, probably never will. He's young. He's 20-something years old. The early 20s, like 21. And he's like, I have a drinking problem. I don't know what to do. All my family thinks I'm crazy that he works construction. And he and I just went back and forth, just DM'd and shit. I don't know this guy. I don't even know what he looks like. He had like an avatar that was not him. It was like a picture of something. I mean, it was a sports team. I don't want to give too much away. And there's no other time in human history where a perfect stranger can reach out to another perfect stranger that they think they might understand them. And then said perfect stranger can then return, and you could have there's no it's fucking amazing. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. And people much smarter and much more talented than me can put out content that could be fucking, who knows? It could be life-saving. Who knows how many dudes David Goggins' life has changed? Like, who knows how many people? And there's never been a time in human history where that could have happened. where a David Goggins or someone like that could have like saved people by just be like that one post, that one TikTok or that one thing really got me going. It made me realize like everyone's life is hard at times, and I picked myself up and I kept going. Who knows, right? There's a lot of beauty to it. So I don't want to be one of those people that's constantly bemoaning like how terrible the idea of smartphones and the internet is. But there's some shit that it's absolutely ruined. And number one, off the top of my head, is the gym. Because you have people who genuinely think it's their right to take up not only the space in which they're training, but now also the entire area to which you are filming, as if you are somehow special and you deserve more space. And you deserve to use this gym for more than just the agreed upon experience of collectively working out with all the other people who pay the same dues that you do.
I don't want to interrupt you there, but you just hit the point on the head for me. Like, it's not even the physical space or the process of getting caught. There used to be a magic about the gym.
Yeah.
This energy where you're hearing the sounds, the music's playing, you're watching all these people PR, lift all these heavy weights you never thought you could lift. There's like a inspiration there. There's like this communal energy that brings it out of you. And I feel like that's all just getting sectioned off. Everyone's got their own headphones in. Everyone's doing their own thing. Like, you lose that like magic of the gym in a way. Like the old Gold's Gym kind of stuff.
There's a communal aspect to what, like, and I mean, some people don't want that, and that's fine. You go to a gym that's more about just like, let me get in, get out. But there was absolutely a communal aspect to a lot of like higher level gyms, right? And I do think it made people feel less intimidated to start working out because it was a lot more positive of an environment. I've had 2 or 3 people on this show, Jay Campbell, who I recently had on, came to mind, that like they were there when I first started I first started lifting weights at my high school, and then started in my parents' garage. They got me just a basic York barbell thing. And then I realized like probably right about as I was about to graduate that I really enjoyed it. Before I moved to Northern California when I graduated, I started at what was then World's Gym in Pasadena. And there was a bunch of giant jacked dudes there, and it was kind of intimidating, and very quickly they made it seem not. It was very kind of beautiful that there was like, it was very welcoming. It was a communal aspect because it was really weird. You weren't gonna carry like a 3-pound machine to put headphones in because it was just too cumbersome to have a Walkman or a Discman. And then of course MP3s became a thing, and some people even had mini disc. I remember for a while.
There was the one old guy with the shitty headphones on that like always fell off, and you made fun of him.
Or there a lot of times there would be people who were just doing cardio. You'd have like one of those yellow Sony, the waterproof ones. And I guess like if you're just walking or something or riding a bike. But for the most part, like in the weight room, it was just really rare because, like I said, I mean, what are you gonna do? You put a Discman or a Walkman and carry? It's not worth it, you know.
Just smash it every time you're trying to clean.
So everybody's listening to the same music, and in 1999, it's probably like Korn or Limp Bizkit or some, or System of a Down for like a year. That was like the height of where you understand. When I started working at K-Rock in 2003, it was like when grunge hit, where they were playing, the music industry was playing nothing but glam metal bands from 1986 to 1991. And then at the end of 1991, there was zero glam rock because Nirvana hit. And in 1999, 2000, all music on rock radio stations was Korn, Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, System of a Down, Incubus.
Butt rock, use the term.
Yeah. or what people are calling now new metal, right? And then by 2003, it was literally zero. You couldn't, like, there was no, it was the stroke. Like, once the Strokes and White Stripes happened, people were like, whoa, guys with baggy pants are kind of dorky. And you're like, oh my God, I kind of see that, My point being is, like, at that time that I first started, though, we all collectively agreed, like, what was going to be played is what we're going to listen to while we work out. And it wasn't like a particularly soft era of music. So a lot of times, it would be a 45-year-old soccer dad and 16-year-old kid, and everyone's listening to I did it all for the nookie. And it was kind of like a communal, powerful thing. Everybody's got their shit on, their earphones on, earbuds on. And also, like, everyone, I guess if you're a generation of kids that grew up filming everything, I don't think you realize how fucking crazy it is that not only you would be upset that people ruin your shot, but that then you would go online posting that and flaming the people who ruined your shot. It's fucking insane. The level of narcissism to do that and self-absorption as if this gym belongs to you. As if the purpose of this gym is so that you can get good footage. It's not. I film myself at the gym. Now, I know what you're saying. You may be saying, hey, I've seen pictures of you or video of you at the gym. I go, yeah, no, I get filming stuff, especially if you're making money as a fitness influencer or someone in the fitness industry. You know what I don't do? Ever get upset about anybody f***ing my shots up. Because if I wanted to make a workout video or had an app where I needed to do demonstrations, you better f***ing believe I'd rent a space. Because I'd go, gee, this world doesn't revolve around me and my career. And if I'm going to invest the time and effort to provide content and I don't want people ruining it, I better make sure it's not in a public f***ing space where people pay money to use it. Asshole. So that's point one. Here comes point two. Now, this one does have a gender-specific slant to it. I apologize in advance. But all you twats online, and there's so many of you. God bless you, Joey Swole. Joey Swole's out there. You should follow him. He's a good guy. He's very smart, and he's a great physique, but he posts these people who are delusional. They either film people in... You know what Joey Swole is trying to do? And it's something that I believe is very important. He's a guy who clearly has a great physique and clearly uses the gym a lot. And he's trying to shoot down people who are ruining gym culture. Because that's not what it's about. A lot of people who don't go to the gym or want to think that it's about really fit people making fun of you and judging you. It absolutely isn't. And for the most part, the most fit people are the least prone to judgment. And that goes across the board. I've never gone into a Muay Thai gym and seen some guy who was like a Lumpini Stadium champion start making fun of people who are beginners. And I've never gone to a jiu-jitsu gym and seen a bunch of brown belts and black belts making fun of people. It's like your third day and you're scared out of your mind and you're intimidated and you're nervous because you don't want to look like an idiot. I've never seen someone like an ADCC champion come over and be like, look at this f***ing asshole. He doesn't even know how to move his hips. It's never happened once, ever. It's always someone who has no business making fun of people. And the same thing goes, I watch these videos, Joey Swole puts up a lot of them, and then also there's just plenty of people, I can't escape them. If you're like into fitness and it's on your feed, look at this fat guy trying to squat. Look at this old lady. You misusing this machine. I'm going to zero in. I'm going to do the Ken Burns autofocus right on her big. Look at her fupa. Fuck you, bitch. It's never someone who's in great shape. It's always someone who's kind of okay. Who thinks she's all that. It's always some idiot little male Karen with his perfectly coiffed goatee. Like, look at this guy squatting 2 plates like he's hot shit. You want me to walk you down to a powerlifting gym and show a chick doing reps with your max weight? Quit it, f***o.
When you can't find 45s anymore because someone's taken them all.
Yeah. Where there's just where dude I was at Big Tech's the other day. I might go later today. There's a gym out here. It's a powerlifting strongman gym, higher level gym called Big Tech's. And I I saw this little girl. I don't mean that as derogatory. She was like in her 20s, but she was little. She was like 130 pounds. And she was deadlifting, and people were like, there was like a big plume of smoke and shit from the chalk, and people were like, oh, and it just looked like she had 2 plates on there. So I was like, oh, well, hey, I mean, that's a lot of weight, but I was a little surprised. Because there is so many strong people there. It's not typically like a place where people make a lot of hoopla over lifting heavy weights, right? And I got closer. They were 100-pound plates. She was deadlifting like 445, like 500. You know, I realized, I was like, oh Jesus. She was sumo deadlifting it.
You ever seen someone not know it's the heavy bar? Because there's two barbells. Well,
I've done that. I've never done that, but what I've done is I went to pick up a 45 and it was 100-pound, and I went to like grab it casually. I was like, oh, and I almost dropped it on my feet. oh, whoops. Okay. My point being is, look, I don't like it. I don't like picking on people just for existing. If you want to talk shit on people because of their behavior, I'm all in. But people, they don't like music you make. You don't like the music they make. You don't like the shoes they're wearing or their outfit, or they don't fit a certain physical look that you think is cool or appropriate. Like, I don't like that. I don't support that, man. I don't support if people aren't the right size or shape for you to shit on them in the gym. If you want to make fun of someone for coming into the gym and yelling at people or just being racist or something, let's go. I'll flame the fuck out of that person. But people just living their lives, man. Just calm down with that. And my last point is, like, listen. No more videos from you chicks about, like, can you believe how hard it is for me to exist with all this harassment? From guys looking in your general direction. Fuck you. If you go to the gym and some guy comes up and rubs his crotch on you, or tries to interrupt you by spitting game at you, or says something, nice tits, babe, because, like, that's insane. And you know what? Frankly, that guy should either be kicked out or brought up on charges. But don't equate that with you walking into the gym with your floss on, doing squats and RDLs with your asshole brushing the ceiling, and then guys kind of like glance over and you're like, oh God, someone call Gloria Steinem. The pain of being a female. Eat me. F*** you. In fact, it's insulting to women who have to deal with real harassment. If you feel so goddamn overwhelmed by the negative feelings, by the discomfort of having people see you, then go to a private gym. Because believe me, I am all on board for sticking up against harassment. But having a perfect female physique and then wearing body paint, wearing goddamn biker shorts where you need 2 haircuts to wear this outfit. Your labia are as clear as if you were in an adult film. And then you go like, can you believe this man who's kind of roughly staring in the general vicinity of where you're working out? Can you believe it, girls? Am I right, sister? The stuff we deal with. Fuck you. And you could sit there and say, like, you don't understand. Oh, I do. I do. I went to World Gym, Palm Springs, California. It was a Sunday. I was on vacation with my family. And no, my wife was pregnant. It was me, my wife, my mother-in-law, and my brother-in-law. And my wife was pregnant with Magnolia. And I was like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna go to the gym. And I go, cool. So I'm not where I live. I'm in Palm Springs. Now, for those of you who don't know, Palm Springs has become a very huge gay hotbed. Honestly, it's on par with like West Hollywood. Like most gay celebrities or gay men in general who have the means will have either most of their vacations or a second home in Palm Springs. It is a very gay friendly place, right? So I go to the gym and I walk in and you would have thought I was Barack Obama because this is not I'm not normally there, right? I'm not normally at this gym. And the man behind the counter was incredibly nice to me, talkative. And then one went into the bathroom and the locker room, and there's these two dudes waiting as I came out of the stall. And this guy, very handsome, older man, probably in his 50s, but like very handsome, gray hair with like a gray beard and jacked. Looks at his ready, he goes, "Someone ordered fresh chicken." I go, "What?" He goes, "Where are you from?" I go, "I'm from LA." He's like, "Oh." I was like, what? And you know, I was like, oh, okay. No one touched me. No one said, "You have a beautiful let me see your cock." They were clearly interested. And I was fine. And I got to be honest. If someone said, "Let me see your cock," I would be very disturbed by that. But the farthest it went was people being pretty complimentary to me and making it known that they found me attractive. Frankly, I was like, "Thanks, dude." I was like, "Actually, I'm straight." And every single time they were like, "Oh, well, too bad." But nice to meet you. I go, "Nice to meet you too, Tom. I'm Mike." And what about and I was wearing sweats and a t-shirt. And 3 or 4 men during my hour and a half that I was there probably came up and talked to me.
Well, it's because you were leaving something to the imagination. Maybe.
But my point being is like, if they started beating off on the gym floor, I would be like, "Yeah, you know what? That's inappropriate. That makes me feel bad." But that's not what happened. That's not what happened to me, and that's not what's happening to you. If some guy is at the gym and you're doing RDLs, so therefore you're bending over, and you have bikers, and he starts beating off, call me. Call any normal, reasonable man. I'll stick up for you. Call the police, whatever. But let's stop. I think Me Too has your brains, ladies. You know where this doesn't happen? Anywhere else besides Canada and America. You know why? Because it's awesome for women to have men let them know that they find them attractive. Find me a Brazilian, any Latin American country. Bring that woman here and then go, those guys are looking at you. That guy over there says that you're hot. They'd be like, "That's right. That's right. Hi, Poppy."
It's Gatorade to them.
Go to a female clothing store. I don't know about other, but in LA, go to the Mexican part of town. Go to the Salvi, Mexican, Guatemalan part, east of like Highland in Hollywood. Go there instead of west of Highland. Go to East Los. Go to go to the mall in El Monte, and look at the female mannequins in the stores. They're brick shit houses, big tits, big fat ass, and you're like, "Oh yes," because it's f***ing awesome. Recognition of women being hot and sexy is f***ing awesome. There's a clear boundary that guys shouldn't cross. But I have not seen one video of these chicks, these hoes online, where these guys are crossing the line. You're in a public place with dental floss between your labia doing Romanian deadlifts. You cannot get upset at guys for just kind of glancing that way. You can't. You can't equate that to fucking harassment. And you know who else it's kind of insulting to? Unattractive women. Because all these girls I see posting this shit, they happen to have great physiques and they happen to be really attractive, What do you think it makes soccer mom, like, who would probably be pretty pumped if every guy in the gym was like, whoa, holy mackerel, look at that chick. Okay? And like I said, I understand there is a line. And as a woman, it's probably harder. Because let's say I was at that game. I could at least physically get myself out of that situation. And I understand for women, it's probably scary to feel helpless and when guys are being gross. But guys appreciating the fact that you're smoking hot, wearing nothing, and putting your asshole in the air is not harassment. Frankly, it'd be weird if you started training wearing those outfits and the guys were like, are you done? You done with your set? Okay. I sure hope you feel comfortable here in this public place. I turned away, don't worry. If Tommy Lee wore biker shorts to a gym with his gigantic cock and did hip thrusts, it's not anybody else's fault for looking. His wiener will be like attached to his knee, and he'd be like, getting my hip thrusts in. Check this out, Brett Contreras. And we'd all be like, whoa, whoa. Same thing goes for you and your beef curtains. Thank you. In this crazy mixed up world that makes you think that nobody cares, I do. Be good.